Malmö, we return for DreamHack Masters. We're in Vegas, we've been here before, and now 2017 gets its DreamHack Masters Malmö taste again. We are going to be kicking off our very first game in the Malmö arena. The players are set up, the desk is set up, and welcome back. If you have just missed the pre-show, we just talked all about how this game has been turned upside down, and we have got a lot to be talking about. I've got myself Sponge, Halvor Vendetta Gudestol, I don't know why I didn't give you your name, Chad Birchall, as well as myself, Alex Machine, and Janko Paunovic. These are human beings that are going to be talking about the Counter-Strike. And the first one, well, why don't we kick off, pun intended, with B.O.O.T. Now, you've talked a little bit about them before, Sponge. Try and shed some light on them, because it does seem like there's very little information around this Singapore curveball.
Well, there's definitely very little information around this if you don't follow anything other than Tier 1 Counter-Strike, right? These guys are from Singapore. The headline story is DSN. And if you don't know DSN, or you're not Swedish, or you didn't follow 1.6, and you didn't know the legendary Fnatic roster, and he's the coach of this team. He used to play back in the days with Khan, Get Right, Forrest, all those kind of guys, and he is now the coach of this squad right here. But as we have the players on screen, I actually got to watch these guys playing against Greyhound, which is an Australian team, live. They were actually at a LAN cafe in Perth while I was there for all of a week.
What are the chances?
Yeah, and I got to see this team beat Greyhound on in the qualifier. And Ben Kai. He was the standout player for me anyway. He was getting a lot of work done across the board, CT side, T side, lots of different entry frags, all that kind of stuff. And to go through this qualifier, this team had to beat the likes of Tyloo, Vici, the two big Chinese names. So they've actually had like a relatively difficult road to qualifying for DreamHack Masters.
And we did see, I mean, it seems like quite the limited connection, but I mean, how have you been making them already on this desk? So pulling at straws here. Yeah, let's go. Tyloo last year. This was where they kind of came out of nowhere. We were like, what is that logo? Who is this team?
Yeah, and I mean, you don't even have to go that far back to see upsets. If you go back to Cologne, for instance, opening game, SK versus Space Soldiers. Yep. So these things do happen, and again, you know, SK hasn't been you know, impervious to actually making those kind of mistakes and getting upset. And it's also a fact that, as unknown, you know, as this team might be for us, they're also a big unknown for SK as well. And that's obviously something that they're going to have to pull through and use to their advantage as much as possible, because let's be real, like, there's not that many golden opportunities for them to actually, you know, overcome one team. That's
SK, and in fact, SK did have a problem with the aforementioned Tyloo last year, right, Janko? I mean, it was two best of ones. They conceded both to the Chinese surprise, the curveball. Maybe it's something about the unpredictable Counter-Strike that could catch them off guard. But then again, look at that team ranking, Janko. It says first. It was 112th next to their opponents.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be worried too much about B.O.O.T. Simply because, as you said, they have experience, especially from Malmö, about getting upset by unknown teams and weaker teams. So I think they're going to be well prepared for this game. I unfortunately don't think simply that the players from B.O.O.T. are on even close to SK's level individually, and that's the first and foremost thing you have to have in order to put up a good fight.
Absolutely. And I think that's where I have to kind of raise the question is, do we start that conversation once again about the respect? Or are SK above that? Are they above the whole disrespectful Counter-Strike where we're just going to run at you until you do something different?
I think Janko just like touched on it there, is the fact that they're not going to allow this to be a matchup where they don't take it seriously off the bat. Okay. Right? Even if they're going to play aggressive CS, it's not going to be, they're not going to go in without a game plan. They're going to have done their due diligence, and they're going to be ready for this matchup so they don't get another upset like they've seen happen to them in the past. And also coming off that major loss, you know, it was to Astralis. But you know, they're going to want to be biting back quickly. And
you said it before, actually, you know, two best of ones and you're out. That's brutal.
This format is really scary, right? You fly all the way here, especially for these guys from Singapore, and you lose two best. You have SK first. That's pretty daunting.
Let's assume that you don't hit that one. You then have one map of Counter-Strike
versus either North or Cloud9.
Or Cloud9.
To survive.
Not easy.
I can tell you firsthand, Alex, that's not a nice feeling.
Have you been? You've been there then, Chad?
Yeah, very similar settings. It's not a place that anybody wants to be.
More time on the plane than you do actually playing at the event.
Well, you get to see the lovely cities we go to, right? Sure. I guess that's a positive that I can reach at.
I mean, they've been in Copenhagen boot camping for a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've actually done all the sightseeing as well.
Yeah.
I guess the next question is going to be, like, where on earth do you want to play SK? Is there an Achilles heel to the veto process for them? Janko, I guess I'll throw this into your sweet and loving hands as we're going to be rushing through the veto.
I mean, this is unfortunately one of those situations where it really does not matter that much which map they're going to play, as long as it's not Nuke. The map that SK doesn't really play, as long as they veto that, I think they're more or less fine. You know, usually with underdogs, you look towards perhaps, okay, so they're going to have set pieces and things like that, so maybe go to a more strategic map, something along the lines of train. Okay, train's banned, or overpass, but really at the end of the day, it doesn't have to mean anything. SK is just on a different level individually, so unless B.O.O.T can show that they can frag, they're not going to have a good time here.
I think the best case scenario is for B.O.O.T is pretty much like you have to take such a big gambit when you're going up against a team that's on paper so much better, and well, in reality, really, just so much better than you, that you have to go the route of gambling on one map going through. Basically, just assume that you're going to know what SK's veto is, and you specifically game plan for that one map. You have everything set up. Pretty much just do all of your focus, put all of your focus on that, to the point where you pretty much have 30 rounds planned out in your head as to what you want to do, because you notice the tendencies of SKs as to what they do on their first buy rounds, for instance, or what they prefer to do in pistol rounds. So you can actually get off to that start where you actually put a bit of a shock and fear into the hearts of SK. Obviously, that's an extremely daunting task and probably impossible, but again, they don't really have too many other options to go with.
Mirage. It was the same map that Tyloo caused the upset on SK last year.
Let them play their best map.
Yeah.
Why not?
just give it to SK.
It's an interesting little decision there. Imagine them on Overpass, Fer just disrespecting and pushing every round and absolutely mauling them. It's just
gonna be
fun
the same
for me to watch
now.
Well, yeah, they do like that aggression on Mirage as well.
Yeah, Fer, especially in early starts on the CT side, just loves standing upside of mid. You know, some might call it, you know, eco hunt fragging. That's fair, but it's also something about, you know, putting people out at ease. Really.
Yanko called me an e-cobra.
Eco-Cobra?
Yeah.
Alex just waits for that eco round and goes in, gets his MVP star, and
that's all I need to do.
I planned
the bomb as well, Yanko. I mean,
hey, someone's got to get those eco frags.
Exactly.
Someone has to plant the bomb. Someone has to get those eco frags. Don't let him take that away from you.
Just call me happy, man. Just call me happy. We need to talk a little bit about those predictions, though.
Hold up, Alex. Before we get stuck into predictions, you know how seriously we take predictions here.
Yeah.
We love
all of us.
Exactly. As analysts, we pride ourselves on this, and I've actually constructed a trophy for us to take home the winner. Whoever wins the predictions over the week, you can be involved in this.
Can I please?
Coming later.
Because I saw you make this.
So this is the lovely trophy that I've constructed. Let me turn it towards towards the camera. So as you can see, we have the brains of CS:GO. The smartest man in all of the industry, Mr. Duncan Thorenshields. He is the head of the statue. We have the heart of North America, the most passionate man that we all know, Jason Moses O'Toole. And then just to round it out, we have Henry for the stamina of the statue, you know, just to get us through these days.
It can be long. It can be long.
Yeah, and what I think we do, boys, is whoever wins the prediction challenge over the course of this event, we will replace Duncan's head with their head.
That's fair.
And does this trophy carry on? Like, do you only get to keep it until the next prediction event?
You hold on to it until the next event.
Wow, this is exciting.
Yeah, we can move it with us wherever we go.
I just want everyone to be aware, by the way, Chad actually made this. This was not something that he was given. You've gone out of your way to build this thing, this abomination.
I just love the fact that you actually gave it gloves.
Well, I thought, it needed something.
Glowing fist.
It needed something.
Okay, I don't want to ruin the pose.
We'll make it dab later.
Oh my god, I won't do it now. It's too much fun. Okay, so either way, that is what the predictions will be riding on. That is our trophy to look forward to. Many more analysts will be joining you as well to be part of that competition. But for now, just one more, Jacob. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Many more, Jacob. We'll be seeing Pimp a little later on. But for now, I think you're the Pimp that was chosen for the 3 reasons why.
That's where I have to look down the barrel, don't I?
Look straight down the barrel and tell us why you voted for SK to pick up this win.
3 big reasons as to why I voted for SK to take down B.O.O.T. Cold Zero.
Wrong camera.
Greatest player. Which camera am I looking at?
There we go.
They lied to me. They said that one.
Over here.
This gentleman over here waving. Let's try again. All right, Cold Zero, the greatest player in the world. He's the reason number 1. Yeah. Reason number 2 is Fallen, the greatest in-game leader in the world. And reason number 3, Fer. Just because SK have some of the best players in the world, and they're just going to absolutely handle this roster.
I feel like we can take Duncan's head off immediately and just put Chad's in.
Do we have your face ready?
Stuff. That is the analysis that we've got him here for.
Look, when you have some of the best players in the world in this roster, you got the best in-game leader, a guy who has basically reinvented the way AWPing is done, going up against a team who, you know, isn't even ranked inside the top 20.
Top 100.
They're going to cop one of these bad boys. The green one. They're going to cop one of them.
They're going to
cop the sun doesn't shine.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just to clarify, there will be more structure to those 3 reasons why.
Oh, definitely so. That was a joke.
Yeah.
But that is, at this point, because of the mismatch where we've taken it, just 3 of SK's players are going to go off. And I think, you know, with all of that said and done, we know SK coming into this one as hot favourites. The only question left for you guys as we wait for the game to get kicked off is actually, Yanko, SK Gaming, not the lackluster performance at the major. I think they wouldn't complain of us describing it as such. No changes made. Was it just a question of, you know, better teams showing up? Was it underperformance from SK? Or is this just going to be same roster, give us another year, we're going to be back on top?
Yeah, you feel that they were just outmatched in that quarterfinal game against Astralis. We all remember that overpass game and how Device dominated Fallen in that op battle. That's something you've probably never seen, Fallen being dominated so hard. And I think that was the problem eventually. Astralis were just better prepared for that game and played better on the day. But for SK, there are no changes that need to be made. You know, they're a team that's very well aware of what needs to be done for them to remain on top and keep being a contender for titles.
They have their winning formula then, Halvor. I think it's just a question of putting it all into action. Is that? I mean, that was it was Astralis best of 3. Surely, I mean, is that going to be the caveat we put to them?
There's no shame in losing to Astralis in a best of 3 by any means. Astralis has been one of the best teams of all 2017. Sure. So there's definitely not like, you know, this is the end of days for SK by any means. And even though, funnily enough, you know, there were rumors that they would, you know, they were thinking of making changes as well. But I think they're making the right choice of just sticking together. Again, this was more of an anomaly, the fact that they don't make it to a semifinals of a major more than anything else, and I think we're going to see that coming into fruition.
It's probably more personnel changes outside of game for SK as opposed to in-game, Alex, but we won't get stuck into that.
Think they need a new manager, new driver?
No, I think they still have that. That's all probably the same.
New social media person?
Maybe a new brand manager.
Okay.
Always needs a good one for that.
It's always important, and everything outside of game. Dude, everyone's been doing like, there's NIP have hired, is it NIP? Yeah, they've hired like a mental coach. I've saw Astralis have been given bedtimes and watches now. We'll talk about that later on.
Bedtimes and watches?
Oh yeah, they've got fancy watches. They'll all be wearing orange watches. Keep your eyes on that. I don't even know if that's public knowledge, but keep your eyes on their wrists, and we are going to go ahead and get right on into the nitty-gritty. Predictions, gents. It's going to be the quickest predictions you've ever seen in your life, but this is on the line, so we have to do it. Please just say the team name and we'll work our way down.
SK.
Yeah, catch up with that, graphics. What have you got?
Should we are you going to put you down for SK as well?
Please, yeah. Are you going to be the scorekeeper?
I guess I can be. This can be, but I assume we're all picking SK. We'll even put Pimp down for SK.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do up an
Whoa. Are we giving him a free point?
Well, no.
Otherwise, it's unfair. Everyone gets to do it.
But everybody has breaks.
Yeah, but we can all do the predictions for everything.
Actually, Alex isn't. Well, you needed a bit of a.
Alex, did you see my hosting during Pro League? I can give you a hand if you need.
You give me a hand?
I'll give you a hand.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Day 1, segment 1, and Chad is already offering favors in order to pick this trophy up. We are ready, though, and going to give some more favors for you guys at home because we've got a casting duo you guys will recognize. Henry is standing by with his partner in crime, Mr. Sadakist. Hello, gents. You ready to kick back off? Get your teeth back into some Counter-Strike?
Yeah, it's been a while, especially you, Matt. You've been away for a bit. Ready to kick off again?
Well, I got out of bed, so that's the start of things, I think. I like that trophy. I actually was really hoping you'd put my face on the ass, Chad.
We can probably work on that. We can continue to build because there's a bit of space and it's got a nice booty.
Yeah.
We can work on that.
I feel like the guy who ends like very last should get his face on the Achilles heel.
That's a play. That's a play.
Ooh.
So, I mean, have you been rest and relaxation? You've been coming in zen, Matt. You've been doing. I saw some like racing. We just saw some cycling. What have you been up to?
Lots of yoga.
Yoga.
Yeah. Speaking of zen. Namaste. Every day, yoga.
Namaste. Well, we will say namaste, and we'll leave you two to go ahead and do what you do best.
I probably said that wrong, Henry, but that's all right.
It sounded pretty good. Yeah, I'm all right. It's good to be back. I've been kind of casting a little bit. It's been interesting doing About You, I have to say. But I've kind of expanded my horizons. I feel like I'm a more kind of experienced person now.
You are.
Put myself out there.
I've noticed you've grown. You've developed.
Yeah.
You're looking good. You're looking restored.
Although I did wear the thickest shirt I own today. I've got a bit of a sweat coming on, so soon as we get off this,
shirt.
That'd be nice. Yeah, what was I thinking?
Yeah, are we going to roast some marshmallows a little later?
Yeah, possibly. We'll see what we can do.
I like marshmallows.
Let's have a look at this game, shall we? Let's not get too excited.
Okay.
It's a team no one's really ever heard of. They're not in the top 100. Let's be fair, it's B.O.O.T. I guess the main storyline is they have DSN from 1.6 tenure at Fnatic. He's the coach. That's pretty much all we have to work with here. They've come to this event and qualified, obviously, from the Asian region and going up against the world's #1 team right now. If they lose 2 best of 1s, Matt, the tournament's over for them.
Yes.
It probably will happen, but a chance for them to at least have a platform and show us what they're made of, maybe have some star players and some good aims to bring to the table.
That's the storyline we put on every team that comes here, but this is perhaps the most unexpected or unknown. Look, we saw Chiefs come in, same situation, who skyrocketed through the leaderboards, although I think they were like 42nd or 46th or something in the rankings, whatever that's worth. So, yeah, look. Great to see another team here, a team we're not normally used to seeing. Good for promotion, good for them, but not expecting much against SK. We said the same last year with Tyloo, and they managed to win it, so who knows?
Well, we do see upsets generally with the first game of the day. Think back to Cologne. Obviously, these guys lost to Space Soldiers in the opening game. A little bit of a different matchup, but I'm hoping we do see something a little bit explosive from B.O.O.T. Maybe some star players coming to the forefront. We'll see what happens here as we go towards A. Will be the set piece. Couple of smokes towards jungle and the steps area, and the shot's starting to fly in now. No damage really inflicted just yet, but there it is. Fur, he does take down Tommy.
Decent shot, falls back away from the smoke. They haven't covered off CT, so they'll be able to re-peek back in, same side. Smoke will not allow Fur all the way through until his teammates get in first, but bomb down, they're going to go in the attack. Good headshot back toward Phelps, but he backs off and lets Fallen take the fight instead, and it's just Moxie remaining.
Good luck, Moxie. I don't think this one's going to work out for you. There is a kill available for SK. What does he even decide to do here? He might get one kill. There's one, but the bomb will be defused. So pretty standard pistol round coming in from the B.O.O.T. side. Those two smokes I described there, but unfortunately, not really getting much done in terms of fragging. Good news is they do get a bomb down, so third round AKs will be coming out, but a chance for SK now, usually getting the 5 SMGs out. Here's the replay of, I assume, if getting shot through the smoke. A couple of gaps there, but those smokes aren't always perfect. It's a little bit difficult to have them spot on. So for round number 2, B.O.O.T. will be bringing out Desert Eagles, P250s, Flashbang as well, back towards the A side, 3 players towards the Palace area. Flashbang goes over, chance to fall into, farm some frags here, but only gets 1.
Good trade. Impression goes in very quickly. On the back of his teammate's entrance from the Palace, Moxie follows up. Not the same Moxie you might know if you follow the Twitch streaming world. Different gender altogether, if I'm honest. Taco takes down Impression. 2 bomb plants in a row, though. Watch for the early buy. No, easily take care of Benkai and Moxie and get another defuse, but B.O.O.T. will have a chance to try and get into this, or B.O.O.T, I should say. I think it's booties. Let's go with booties.
Yeah, I like that. They can even bring out an AWP in, I think.
I know you love the little booties.
The little booties. I'm sure we'll be seeing them as the tournament progresses. But yeah, they could bring out an AWP if they wanted to. I doubt they will. They'll probably go for the 5 AKs and the full array of utility here. But SK, this is something I normally talk about with them, especially. They love to go for that 5 SMG setup in the second round. I can see they brought out an AWP just about. Presumably that goes in the hands of Fallen, but MP9s, UMPs, 1 M4 for Phelps, but watch out for Fire. He's one of the craziest MP9 users in the game. It's absolutely bananas what he can do with that weapon. We're going back towards A once again. 4 players outside the bomb site itself. Tommy working towards the underpass. So what's his play here? Surely he comes in for the A split eventually. Try and hold some rotations here, show some presence towards middle. I'm assuming we'll see the wall of smoke. But unfortunately, there it is. That MP9 comes in, takes down Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy got the first shot with the AK as well and had armor, so bit of a misplay. Fur's able to get away with one upgrade to the AK-47. Phelps already covering off top with a connection point, has Fallen and Fur with him, so no chance they're going up middle. Rightfully not doing so. They'll go back inside the smoke. Another bomb plant, though, coming in, so they are at least getting the bombs down. Impression is making one on me because both times he's entered, he's found frags, but good shot from Cold as Benkai goes back down to the Deagle. Taco will nade back in the right direction, general direction, although slightly opposite. It catches the cinders and doesn't do much damage onto Moxie.
Yeah, difficult situation now for B.O.O.T. You can see got no utility to work with here. Bomb is ticking away, though. 3-on-2 situation in favor of SK Gaming as the pincer finally comes in. Lovely shot there from Taco. 3 versus 1 now. Need to get that defuse in. His Flash can find 1 frag here, which he does. It could be enough, but I still think the defuse is absolutely fine here for SK Gaming. Indeed it is. But you're right. Once again, B.O.O.T. do get the bomb down. 3 in a row. Means the money probably is okay. I don't think they'll get a full buy here. They can probably bring out Tech9's armor if they wanted to, or they might just take the eco here. But SK, a little bit hairy at times. They did lose a couple of frags there. 3-on-3 when the bomb got planted, but that 1D from Cold Zero certainly got them back into the round, and it will be the eco here from B.O.O.T. We did see DSN on screen just then.
I have not seen the confetti on defuse in a long time.
Yeah, that was the big 5-year surprise for CSGO, and that's all they gave us. I was a little bit
Listen, man, it's awesome. What's wrong with confetti and stuff like cheering?
It just felt like
when the good guys win,
forgot
you
it was
should have a
coming
party.
They forgot it was coming. And
they probably did because they were sitting and celebrating Dota's 13-month and 2-week, 1-day and 6-hour anniversary or something along those lines.
But they gave us confetti.
They might even know the second for Dota.
Well, for now, Splash. We're gonna translate it all in. Splash.
I'm going with Splash.
Splash. Let's go Splash. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. It's going to go horribly wrong. But 4-0, that was the eco from B.O.O.T. And a little spray down there. Good job from Phelps. It's another full buy for B.O.O.T. Not bring out the orbs at all as of yet. Obviously, we don't really know what the roles really mean for B.O.O.T. here. But for now, 5 AKs, full buy once again. 3 bombs so far, but no rounds posted. It will be a default this time. No AXQ. Fallen getting aggressive towards the lower ramp, it seems, as well, trying to find a bit of information here. He is known as the combat AWPer of CSGO, but Tommy, he's got up towards short very quickly. It seems like he's undetected as well.
He's got a gap to work with. This could be very hard for them to detect because Cold, after giving the support to his teammate, is watching down towards short. He's going to have no idea. Oh, but he shoots too soon. Makes up for it to at least get Taco. If he had trigger discipline in that situation, it's hard when you're inexperienced. Could have easily walked in and done a lot more damage as Fallen finds 2 quickly. Will go down to Moxie. Is another bomb plant perhaps in the cards, or is it going to be denied just barely? Yes, it is.
Quite an exciting situation there for Tommy, especially. He got all the way up short. Has 2 on his screen, but he misses that first shot. He does get 1 frag, but didn't really do enough for him there. And it will be the 5th round for SK Gaming. Lovely stop from Fallen. As we know, very good the close range AWP. Could have found that 3rd frag as well. I was waiting for that no-scope to come through, but doesn't quite connect. And there it is, 5-0. Maximum loss bonus, but no bomb this time. There is definitely enough for a buy here from B.O.O.T. They've got about $4,000 per player. And I'm sure they will buy into it. It doesn't really seem worth to take an eco here. But round number 6, I was thinking coming into this game, this would be like a 16-3 game for SK, the current number 1. Technically on the leaderboard, I'm not sure the form of the major would suggest that, but still, B.O.O.T, a team outside the top 100 here, don't really have any international experience whatsoever. It's quite difficult to grow as a team when you're just in the Asian region. Yeah. What does B.O.O.T stand for? Do we have any idea?
Booty.
Oh, just booties, yeah. Or I'll think of something good.
Yeah, there's nothing. I got him. Sorry.
I've got some ideas.
All right, you get back to me.
That.
Yeah. You are the writer of this show. I'm just merely an actor. Phelps looking over top of the smoke toward top middle. No one peeking out just yet. Impression is there. Bombs drop behind him. So looking for picks rather than clean entrances this time is B.O.O.T. For Fallen and Phelps, again, will group inside of Connector. No one toward A this time, so going more passive based on the information that they have. Single smoke on Palace, so they have an escape plan from the connecting point, but cautious because that's gone. Thankfully for their sake, no one there.
Well, this is looking promising, though. The mid-control coming through for B.O.O.T, but unfortunately, Cold Zera mows one down from CPL using the vents, but there's a refrag potential there. Doesn't happen, though. Actually, Tommy going down to 18 points of health, but there it is. He finally gets a frag. 4 and 4 for now, but it's just falling apart once again. Phelps, he strikes from the connector, and now Taco pushing off towards short.
Back over toward B. Taco, as you mentioned, going to be there in time. Plenty of time. Not necessarily his best position. He plays under the window so they can't drop out, but he's got Phelps now in a better position to spot when they come in, so they will be spotted before the entry exchange.
They've got 1 smoke and a few flashbangs here. I think this will be a classic contact play. Walk as deep into the side as you can before you're spotted, then that's your cue to really explode. There it is. Phelps takes the shot, doesn't get anything just yet. Actually, not looking too hot, but does manage to find the first frag. That should be the round concluded. Moxie left in a 3 versus 1. He's towards the apartments area. Flashed as well. That should be the frag, but a nice shot from Moxie. Showing us a bit of flair here. Has to plant with just 5 seconds remaining, and it will actually come through as well.
Just barely. Nade's going to be light. Good spotting from Fur, though. Knew he was on the inside of that pillar. Had the angle covered off. So SK continuing to look, I won't say unchallenged, undefeated in rounds, but they have had a few occasions where, again, going back to the first gun round, the Deagle from Cole pulled them back into it after losing the initial exchange. And there's been some situations that aren't always been an easy, breezy time.
Yeah, it hasn't been a complete walk in the park for sure. B.O.O.T have found a few frags and made things uncomfortable. They've got the bomb down 4 times out of 6, so they're doing things correctly in terms of the general approach to each round. The fact you're planting bombs, that means you're getting something right. It hasn't been like they've just got a bomb down. It's a 1 versus 4. They've had equal situations as well. Just can't clutch out those situations. So for now, another buy. Like we said, maximum loss bonus. As long as the bomb goes down on the T side, you are able to bring a pretty decent buy to the table here. AKs. Not all the utility, but they do have 4 smokes to work with here. This will be another A execution here. You can see all 5 players on this side of the map. But Fallen, he's angry. He wants to try and find the first opening kill, but oh god, this is going to be a slaughter. He's going to have players in front of him any second. Hello.
Oh, that's actually decent that Moxie was watching that, because otherwise free kill. It looked like originally on the X-ray he was inside of the palace. I was a bit misled, but it is now Fallen that has to come up large again, up close. Loves the shots up close, but jumping over. Taking one in the shin bone, they'll make it by, and this is the best chance for them to win a round on the Boot side. Cold's gonna go over top of Ticket. That gives him vision over top of Smoke. Shuts down Impression. Go back through the Molotov and take a tick of damage to put him onto 20. 75, therefore, for Taco becomes the important aspect of the retake because he's got to work his way in from the connector as well. He's already lost his teammate in Cold, and Ben Kai will confirm the first round for Boot. Good team effort all the way through.
Well, Boot going for that full A execution at the very start of the round there, but it looked like he'd made the perfect play there, making his way towards T-spawn, walks around the corner, has a few players on his screen, but Moxie ready and waiting, as you pointed out. Good awareness to know that would be a possibility. Takes down Fur, and as soon as you get that first pick and those sort of plays, you haven't got any sort of map control. You know the rotation will be coming in for the CTs. You have to commit then and there, and it works out quite nicely. Boot, they managed to pick the first round on the board here. They pick up the AWP as well. The Splash is going to be the main AWP for the team, it seems. He heads towards middle for a default round now from the T side. He watches out for any CT aggression, and that's the right thing to do. We know SK is going to have a lack of respect for this team, and they'll be pushing for frags like Fur was there. That's pretty unorthodox to be towards T-spawn within 15 seconds of the round, but that's what Boot need to deal with here. They know pound for pound, SK Gaming are outclass them in almost every situation, so it's to be expected they might be pushing in and trying to find the opening kills.
Fallen searching. Searching again, aggressively, gets Moxie as well. So many angles to get to check as Crosshair's just snapping up and down, up and down, up and down, and gets it perfect to find Moxie.
Yeah, the fact he got the headshot in that corner as well just looks so brutal. It's like, well, there's nothing you can do about this.
Yeah, no. He's certainly playing almost a no-respect style with the AWP, how close he's been every round.
But why wouldn't he? Like, when you're one of the world's best AWPers and you're up against a team like this, you might as well show some flair, bit of flamboyancy. Show what you're made of. That's a nice opening kill from Fallen.
Perhaps he could use you as his role model in that.
Well, have a flamboyant personality to go with him. His wingman.
Yeah. Henry, how do I play today? Just play like me.
Fabulous.
Back off for Taco. Knows they're coming down toward B. Information, all the plenty based on Taco. Getting some sound cue, but also Fallen pushing up to realize they're no further at A. Good double for Taco inside of the site. Splash will at least find Cold, but Fallen has rotated over and found the angle on the AWP. Taco tries to flush out Splash, doesn't need to, pushes him toward Fur, who finds the kill instead.
Pretty textbook stuff there from SK Gaming. Apart from the close range AWP at A-Ram. In fact, that's the first time I've ever seen that really be a thing. He's doing it every single round, but finding kills, can't really argue with it. Funnels him towards the B site. Taco, pretty standard angle here, but it's good aim to take them down one by one. They're not really challenging too much in terms of set pieces towards B. They're walking with that contact play. I've tried that a few times now, but I really do think they need to be focusing on the set pieces, the executions. That's the only way you're going to get the bomb down, which you have been doing. And unfortunately for now, they won the previous round, lose the subsequent as a full reset. Will be Taco now on the AWP. They have been experimenting with that idea of him being the secondary AWPer, and you can see why. Getting some nice shots now, gets two, but Splash has taken down. He is the AWPer, but won't be able to recover it.
Doesn't get that far at all. Another pistol shot comes through, so PT-50 on the first. Deagle on the second one as Ben Kai found Phelps. Fur gets Moxie. That's Cold Zera. We'll close the round, make it 8-1. Do you remember Brozier?
No.
Different Moxie, doesn't matter. Someone out there listening does. So rhetorical question, Henry. Just play along. He made a nice rhyme about Scintilla and Moxie. The other Moxie.
Who is Moxie?
She's a streamer.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't be like Moxie,
what's the rhyme
because I can't. It's not PG.
Ah, okay.
But it's on YouTube somewhere. I'm sure someone has it, can tweet it at me, and I will retweet it.
Well, there we go. Challenge is out there. And a challenge for Boot as we enter round number 10. Deagles, 1 PT-50, Tommy with the body armor, 1 smoke. I think all 5 players towards Palace right now. Okay, 4 of them. Moxie to the A-ramp. Should be a bit of a spray down here. We're not going to get too hyped about this one. Very quick round. Not really anything going right for Boot so far. They've had that one successful round on the board, but you have to feel like this is just a bit of a challenging tournament for them. You go up against the world's #1 team when you get here. Not many teams will beat SK Mirage, one of their absolute best maps. And you sat outside the top 100. It's always going to be rough for you, but I guess good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to learn from this. I mean, the best... It goes along the lines of, you know, would you like to be the best team in the worst scene or the worst team in the best?
The problem is, though, you could watch this demo. It's not really going to help you out that much because they're just pushing you so much every single time. It's not like you can really improve your game. But for now, Tommy and Splash, they are aware that The aggression's coming through time and time again. It was Taco and Phelps that pushed towards the mid area, and they have been punished for it. I have to say, Boot have been good in that regard, but Fallen, he's still alive and kicking. It takes down Ben Kai.
Yeah, you make a good point. If you're just getting absolutely trashed, it's hard to really assess why, where, and why. Like,
yeah,
that situation was rather careless. Tommy just runs across the top of middle and gets taken down with no flash or anything after having no one to peek connector. They know they've been playing in that quite a lot, so yeah, that's almost a hope for the best moment. Especially when Tommy gives back what was a one-man advantage.
Yeah, it's not ideal. That was a 5-on-3 situation. Now the 3-on-3 in terms of what we've got left for Boot here. 3 players outside A once again. So they've got 3 smokes to work with, to be fair. Can go for some sort of execution here, but with 1 player towards Palace, it means 2 smokes. So I would say maybe smoke towards CT spawn in jungle, try and focus on the connector. Cold Zero, though, he's in a lovely little position here, trying to find the first frag. I say he probably gets 2, maybe even the 3rd. They're not going to be checking this by the looks of things. Bomb out, and Fallen gets his 3rd of the round, make it 4th. Going for that ace now, Moxie with a nice shot to take him down in CT spawn.
And Moxie puts it back to a one-on-one as a result, perhaps overthinking slightly, trying to bait in the player. Ooh. And I take my words back. He finds Fur, down he goes. Moxie had 15 seconds to work with, but he finds the 2nd round for the Booties.
The Booties strike back, it seems. That was a 5-on-3 as well. It'd be gutting to lose that round, so good job from Boot to clutch it out. That's been the problem. They have been getting the bombs down and getting himself into situations that are possible, just can't win the tight clutches. So, Fallen with 4 kills. He jumped up in CT spawn before he got taken down, and it will be another reset potential here for Boot. You need to be very careful as we enter round number 12. If they can win this round, they might destroy the financial situation for SK, but Fur, he's not having any of it. He likes to be aggressive, probably one of the absolute most aggressive players we have in CSGO. Gets the first 2 frags and he'll fall back as well. No damage inflicted.
Cold waits behind this smoke. Catwalk push. Haven't seen that a lot from them. Again, they have putting a lot of pressure on middle, but mostly with a peculiar 3-man stack inside of connector that I hope doesn't, I don't know, string on into other games against more formidable opposition, because 3 in connector can be neutralized quite quickly with utility.
Tommy, Moxie, and Impression. Big round for them to give away here. It's another reset if they lose this one. Less than a minute to work with here. No real map control working in their favor, man. You can see Impression, he's at the beginning of the B apartments and the T side. Moxie's with him as well. Tommy's in towards middle, but they've dropped their smokes and they're not doing anything with it. So he smoked connector and towards window, but that's gone down now. So he needs to get up towards short to join his teammates. I think he has to find a frag. Tommy needs to get something done here. Does a bit of damage. Ooh, okay, that's not bad at all.
Okay, I believe you, but my Tommy got donked as he gets him through the boxes on toward A. Watch for Impression. He's followed it up, but cold strikes. He goes back out immediately from the ladder room. It gives up B in doing so. His forward stance allows him to slip in the back, but a good peek. A first peek to get Moxie on 15 and a follow-up, the M4. Only takes 2, and in fact, Cold shot over top of his teammate to get the last kill as well. So 3 for him in the round, and they shut it down to go 10-2.
Nice opportunity there from Boot to maybe get the bomb down, but didn't happen. Denied from the apartments as the initial push from pinpoint accuracy there. Very good awareness, pushing that underpass once more. And Boot, that's something they need to be very aware of. You're playing against Fur, who does this against world-class opposition as well. He's going to do it 10 times the amount in this sort of game. This sort of environment lends itself to him. He knows he's more skilled than everyone on the Boot squad. Push through, out-aim them, take them down, and shut down any tactics they had in mind as well. Number 13, there's the harsh reset. This is like double eco territory as well. 4 players and about the $1,400 mark. It's 10-2. Do you just force into this and hope for the best? Even if you force into it, it'd be very weak buy, not much utility. And pause comes through. Just to note as well, this is the first event where the coaches can now talk in the freeze time.
That's right. They talked about that briefly on the desk. Yeah, based on player feedback more than anything, it brings the coaches back into sort of a strat call situation.
It's a good middle ground, I guess. So they can't do the mid-round stuff for them, but at least they can give their input as to what they should be doing at the start of the strat.
Well, yeah, they could call us that strat based on something that they've seen, which they couldn't ultimately do before unless someone gave them the chance to do so by asking for a timeout. Fallen, Taco, each finding kills, one in between for Boot, but unfortunately that's all they get once the action really heated up. So a 3-1 down to a 3-0, 11-2 on the scoreboard. SK looking quite comfortable, I think.
Yeah, it has to be another recap for Boot, unfortunately. DSN doing what he can there. There's not really much you can say at this point if you're him. It's another eco. You're 11-2 down to SK Gaming. Like, there's only so much you can say. Like, come on, guys, 2's enough. Everyone knows it's not. So, unfortunately, I think we know which way this game is going. But Deagles, no nades, no armor, and we're heading towards B. But it looks things Splash will be towards the apartments, or at least he was. coldzera takes him down with a swift headshot there with the M4A4, and he wants a little bit more as he finds another kill, takes down Tommy. And we'll have a look at the frag charts while we're here as well. Another eco round, 16 kills for Fallen. Same story for coldzera as well. To be fair, Moxie's on 11 kills, so he's keeping up with them at least, but not really posting the rounds on the board. That's the tricky part of it. It should be 12-2 at the end of this one.
For all the way at the top of middle. Doesn't quite get to the corner. Gets to fight beforehand, and he'll successfully do. Oh, so they both run out of ammo. Moxie goes back to finally win the exchange, but Fallen re-enters the scene and closes the curtain. It goes 12-2. Do you remember that clip way back when it was 1v1, bomb was down in mid, and the CT player hit at the garbages because he just blended in?
Which map is it on?
This map, top mid. The garbage bags behind the boxes to your left of where you're looking right now.
Oh, yeah.
He sat there with his head down, and they couldn't even see him.
That's so funny. I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You can do it on Dust 2 as well, long by the car.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, that's behind the flames. I think they nerfed that slightly because it was. I used to do it all the time. The pistol round's so good with the USP.
Yeah, right.
Fallen, nails him. I didn't think he actually got that shot. Lightning quick as always, is able to take down Ben Kai. Gets ready for the entrance from A main. Let's get one more, but impression again on entry. It's not amounting to much, unfortunately, for them, because either it's after they've lost players or trading, but they can't do anything with it in the mid rounds. But he has found a good number of kills on his way running through to a bomb site.
We desperately need this round for B.O.O.T to really have a game of any sort of magnitude on our hands. Splash and Moxie now in a 3 versus 2 situation. Bomb is down towards Sandwich, and he's going to smoke himself out of the palace as well. That's a brave move, but pushes forward. Does have a chance to get a headshot here. That's Splash indeed. Towards Shadow he goes. They still have a minute to work with here. Recovered the bomb. Need to find this kill, which they do. Moxie taking down Phelps. And that's a lovely shot towards CD Spawn. 2 versus 1 now. coldzera, arguably the world's best player. Takes down the first. Now he's up against Moxie.
Moxie won his last one-on-one to win a round. With a similar tactic. A tapped bomb and then peeking out. Baiting it at the time. Fur, who had to push through smoke to get position. Moxie may do just that. He's got 30 seconds, lots of time to walk it the whole entire way. Cold is a little bit curious of it, though. Yeah, it goes back to the vent. I think he's going to start to consider going back to where he originally came from. Moxie's now in a tight position. He needs to hold this plant this time. Thankfully, will do so. The more he faked it, the more information Cold was going to get based on having the position at the vent.
Moxie knows CD Spawn is clear, so that's where he heads towards. Holding the steps for now. He actually has the advantage here, I would say. coldzera has no information as to where he could be, but coming around the corner, Moxie unfortunately finds the crosshair of coldzera. And there it is, 13-2. So we have to talk about the bomb plants coming in from B.O.O.T. They got it down, I think, 5 times total, including this one. So that's actually decent in terms of their general approach to each round and having the executions. That was good, but the problem was they weren't really anticipating the relentless aggression coming from SK Gaming for pushing middle, underpassing was every single round, finding those kills, and like we said, falling at the A ramp as well, the close range AWP. We did know the lack of respect would be coming in, but it seems like B.O.O.T, they were ready for it some rounds and not so much others. So their execution seemed pretty good though. Their set pieces were on point, but couldn't really convert those rounds into victories.
Well, victories that were much needed. 13-2 SK. Smooth sailing, win the pistol, and it might be all she wrote. And B.O.O.T will have to try and recover. DSN, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, there's only so much he can do as a coach in this situation.
But he can talk more.
He can talk as much as I can be more of a cheerleader at this point. Like in terms of tactical things, like when you're this wrecked at this point, you know going into this game, you're not going to win it. Like, you have to be realistic, right? But you're trying to make as much of the dent as he possibly could. They got a couple of good rounds in there, some good executions and some chance for clutches, but SK Gaming always going to be much better in those scenarios. We'll have a look at the pistol buy for SK. 2 smokes, Molotov to work with as well, and they'll head towards A. Well, it seems to be focused on this side of the map. The bomb goes out release. It looks like an A split coming through as we head towards middle as well. Ben Kai USP in hand, trying to find that first headshot. Can't land anything just yet. He'll be Molotov out of position, but Moxie, he does take down Taco. 5-on-4 in favor of B.O.O.T for now.
Start they need. Follow it up, though. That's the problem that they have had. Cold Zero to get back Tommy. And Kai's peeks once more, but they've already wrapped through connector. He's in a very, very tight position to try and play inside of the window room. Ooh, a bit of work with it. He actually catches Cold on a drive-by. I think he just caught him in the shoulder, puts him down to 22 as Cold still jumps back through and makes it work. Doesn't matter how much HP he has. Splashed Moxie, trying to take the site back for and fall and close it out. 14-2 SK.
There's definitely some signs of life there for B.O.O.T. Got the opening kill, 5-on-4 in their favor, and a low HP Cold Zero completely ravishes them there. From CPL, finds 2 backstab kills, headshots of course, and finds the 14th round for SK Gaming. Has to be the force buy here from the team from Singapore. Deagles, 5.7s, P250s, no kits, no nades. Since for SK, they've got 1 rifle for Fallen, then UMPs and a MAC-10. Should be their round. And match point.
Ooh, terrible timing for poor Fur on the flash, but still manages to get away from it. Moxie follows up for 1. Shot onto Phelps. They know where Moxie is, missing the jump still. Phelps gets back into position. Map point SK, and it didn't come in any shortage of time.
Very quick game here. That was the force buy from the CTs as well. And a match point, you don't really have much choice but to buy into it. Should be the 16-2 as the AKs come out as well. 4 on the Tech 9, 4 AK-47s, Deagles for the CTs. Tommy's got a UMP, but no head armor. But there's always a chance. Deagle can be very powerful on a map like Mirage. Lots of long-range angles to hold. This takes 1 overzealous terrorist to walk into your crosshair. Can't find that opening kill, but that's all I really anticipate here. Maybe a couple of kills. I don't see them running around.
Good shot from Phelps to find Ben Kai. It would be a very tall order to win the round. Cold Zero following to take Tommy. Old Tommy boy. Fur finds impression. Moxie. Down by Taco, all on to Splash. He's not even a drop in the pan, let alone a splash, Henry.
Yeah, that will be the round. Unless Splash does something absolutely wild. He will not. So as expected, man, we did know SK going to win that one. I said about 16-3. It's 16-2, and they didn't really have to break a sweat there at that point. But we did see something from B.O.O.T. It wasn't complete nightmare for them. Moxie with 15 frags showed some very good aim. They had some good executions there. Got the bomb down 6 times in the T-half. Just couldn't outclass the SK side. And still, they're in the tournament. They'll play, I think, either Cloud9 or North next, which is not the most tantalizing prospect for them.
The other thing, we're finally away from the Swiss system, which at first, because it was something different, everyone loved, and now we've learned to hate. We go back to our groups.
Yeah, GSL format's back, and that will be the first game done. It will be B.O.O.T. being taken down 16-2. And what do we think?
To know that you spent some time in the sun over the break, Henry.